gliding stateliness of the swan, the majestic grandeur of the mountain peak, swaying palms bending in the breeze, the ripple of waves on an incoming tide, rolling downs and tumbling waterfall, nature curving in her assured design, is ever an inspiration and a challenge to the roving eye of man. The challenge is accepted and the weapons are prepared. The development of a new Austin body design has begun. First, the designer musters his ideas, turns them to shapes, and gives to airy nothing a local habitation and a name. Curve blends into curve as he evolves the flowing lines from which your car derives its roominess and style. In a single body design, thousands of distinct and different curves may be most carefully merged. But before the design can be passed and production sanctioned, every aspect must be critically surveyed, to facilitate which a wooden replica of the body is made. Once the model has been approved for shape, room, visibility, and all the other attributes looked for in an Austin body, the detailed drawings can be prepared. The finished design first takes shape in wood under the skillful eye and hand of the pattern maker. And from this pattern, every detail of which must be worked out accurately to a fraction of an inch, the pressed die is evolved. This is cast in a sand mold made from the pattern, which leaves dimensional allowances for machining to the final shape. Meanwhile, the cupola is tapped and the liquid iron streams out to fill the ladle. With the sand mold complete and dry, the molten iron is carefully poured in. The iron settles to the shape established by the pattern, and when cool, can be released as a solid block of metal in which are already apparent the shapely curves conceived by the designer. Now that the die has been cast as a rough approximation in solid metal, the exact contours must be formed. Planers first prepare a mounting face, and with this surface to work from, the sculpture of metal begins. The operator sets his great machine in motion, and the tracer passing over the curves of the woodmaster determines the movements of the cutter. Electrically controlled and guided by the master pattern, this ingenious machine cuts the contours of the die with scrupulous accuracy. Then every die has to be finished by hand by experienced craftsmen who grind, file, and polish it painstakingly to perfection. And so it emerges at last from all this grooming, a solid mass of gleaming metal, the work of several weeks. Now in huge presses, capable of exerting up to 500 tons pressure, the dies begin their work. Into the press, flat sheet metal is fed. The die descends, fulfills its task, and a curving panel results, the consummation of the designer's conception of line and style. After months of preparation, full-speed production can at last begin. It still remains to assemble the separate panels and weld them carefully together to form the complete body. Special assembling jigs are used, in which each panel is rigidly positioned while being welded to form the main assembly. This is a task to be effected with the greatest care and precision, if the curves of each separate part are to blend into the perfection of line visualized by the designer. But style and appearance are not derived solely from the curves and contours of the body. The color and luster of the finish are essential elements of a beautiful car. So while the bodies are receiving their many undercoats, suppose we see how the color is tested to ensure a finish of the finest quality. From each new supply of color, a sample is taken and subjected to numerous tests. One of the most interesting is that which compares the quality with a sample of standard color. This is how poor or base color would be revealed in an unsuitable paint. Weathering ability is tested by ultraviolet light, a test of 1 day in this apparatus being equivalent to a year of normal use. Half of each specimen is masked, so that the effect of light on the unmasked part can be compared with the protected half. A paint with low resistance is quickly detected in this way. See the results under the microscope. Color must conform to a standard shade, which is verified by an ingenious instrument known as a tintometer. The specimen color to be tested is placed in position. And through the eyepiece, the operator can see the blending tints resulting from his movements of a number of red, yellow, and blue transparent slides. These, in the correct combination, give the required shade. The specimen being tested must match exactly before it can be passed for use. Thus, our quest for beauty ends in the consummation of many months of careful planning and precise craftsmanship. Here's to beauty. Here's to the care that goes into establishing the appearance of your Austin car. And here's hoping that you care for it accordingly.